Hey folks, Red, White, and Bill here. How you doing? I'm going to give a little disclaimer before I start this one. I am a little heated, so this is not going to be your feel-good video. So if you are easily offended, if things are going to trigger you, such as the American flag behind me, the American flag bandana, this Made in USA shirt, or this gun, then you probably should just turn off the video now. That's probably going to be your best bet, because this is not a safe space. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to go ahead and make your decision. Okay, you're still here? Then it's free for all. I am unbelievably irritated right now. For the last 2 days, the stuff I have been seeing on Facebook is insane to me. People's heads are literally exploding because Donald Trump got elected to the president of the United States. And he's not even in office yet, and people's heads are exploding. And I'm going to go with both sides on this one. This is probably going to be a fairly long video, a lot longer than my other ones, but stuff needs to be said. Hopefully I can remember everything. Hopefully, I don't get too irate. But I've been irate for the last hour. But anyway, so we're going to start with the Trump supporters right now. Trump supporters are thrilled. They are so happy right now. They feel like they have taken their country back. They feel like they have won something that they have put up with for 8 years, of the social justice warriors, of the Black Lives Matter, of the just ridiculousness that's going on with the liberals. And they got fed up and they're pissed off and they went out and they voted. And now, apparently, any person that voted for Donald Trump, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter your sexual orientation, it doesn't matter if you're male, it doesn't matter if you're female, it doesn't matter your race, none of that matters, your religion, none of that matters. You are a racist. You are homophobic. That's what's being said all over the internet to every single Trump supporter. And I have seen numerous things on Facebook of people that are saying Trump supporters are going out and harassing women. They are saying, get out of America. They're just being terrible, terrible, mean, evil people. And I recall for the last 8 years from the liberal side, whenever something happened such as a bombing or a shooting, we were told to not judge the majority on the actions of a few. We're not supposed to judge the majority. That's just the actions of a few. But yet now, even if these things are true, which I don't believe they are, because we have, let's be honest, the liberal media would be all over it if some person went out and sexually assaulted or beat up a homosexual or beat up a Hispanic, beat up anybody. You did any kind of act that is literally illegal, the media would be all over it. They would be going crazy with, look at what happened, look at the Trump supporters, look at the kind of stuff they're doing. I haven't seen anything like that. I have seen one article that said this happened, and I read the article. Apparently, an Asian woman said she was assaulted, and if you would like, you can hit me up on Facebook. I'll give you the article. But she was assaulted and she punched the guy to defend herself, and this is obviously the Cliff Note version. The police came and she ended up in handcuffs, but after the police checked her out and realized that she was an American citizen, they let her go. And she's happy that this happened so she can bring light to the Trump supporters and the hate that they instill and blah, 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 blah. And then they show her Facebook post that basically says the exact same thing as the article does, a little more detail, but more. And underneath that it says, when we tried to contact her, she failed to talk to the press. Now, if I want to bring light to a situation and the news contacted me, I would be more than happy to stand in front of a camera and do an interview so that millions of people could see it. I would not avoid the press, unless, of course, I was lying. This is a huge red flag. Either she's lying and it never happened, Or it did happen and it didn't happen the way she said it did, and that's why she doesn't want to talk to the press, because when they talk to the police, they're going to realize this was a bunch of baloney. So that's the only article I've seen about it. The others are Twitter posts, which I could go on Twitter right now if I had it, but I'm not, not that socially, connected. I could go on Facebook and put, I walked out of my house and a Hillary supporter that was wearing a Hillary shirt walked up, punched me in the face, bent me over the car, and raped me in the butt for 20 minutes. And that has as much merit as anything they're saying on Twitter, because there's no police report. It's baloney. Unless you can prove it happened, it wouldn't hold up in court. It's not going to hold up as far as I am concerned, and I'm sure most of America is concerned. So if there are Trump supporters out there, don't do stupid stuff because they already think that we're a bunch of racists, blah, blah, blah. So let's prove them wrong. Now let's go to the other side. The liberals are obviously doing things because we can turn on the news. They're blocking traffic. They're throwing things at cars as they go by. They're burning flags in Washington, D.C. in front of the White House, burning American flags. I understand the Supreme Court has told you that is your freedom of speech. You go ahead and do it. But it blows my mind you can get that close to the White House, burn a flag, and nobody's stopping you. That blows my mind. But they're marching together, and they're, fuck Trump, not my president. Again, all of that is your right as an American. But burning the flag, this flag, because you're upset with this country that gives you the freedom to be able to burn that flag, is just completely opposite of what you're trying to do. So you did that kind of stuff during the election process. And while you did that stuff, people got upset and decided, I'm done with this social justice PC movement. It's ridiculous and I'm over it. So they voted Trump in. You guys lost. That's what happens. For 260 years, we have been a country. We've been having elections every 4 years for 260 years. And guess what? Every election, half of the people are upset that they lost. This is the first time that they decided we need to go and burn things and trash communities and spray paint stuff on police cars and throw things at people. And they're doing it in states. Again, my head is melting with the just ridiculousness of it. They're doing it in states that voted for their candidate. They're in California. We went blue. Not because of me, but we went blue. And so what happens? Oh, let's go block people from going home on a freeway and make them sit there for hours. That probably voted for the same candidate you did and are now pissed off at you. Let's go do it in New York. Guess what? New York was blue also. You're not helping your cause, people. You literally are not helping your cause. If you continue doing this, you're not only going to have 4 years of Trump, you're going to have 8 years of Trump. If that's what you want, keep it up. But guess what? Protesting and crying about it isn't going to help. And again, your right to protest, go for it. I've actually been seeing things on Facebook. This is the honest to God truth. Yesterday at Cal State Long Beach, right down the street from here, there was an invite on Facebook from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. of anybody that wanted to come. They were going to have in the Japanese garden a cry circle. They're literally acting like 4-year-old little girls who didn't get their way. They're sitting in a circle and they're crying. There are people crying all over the nation because they lost. Crying isn't going to do anything. Are you serious right now, people? Are you serious? It's like I'm taking crazy pills. It seriously is like I'm taking crazy pills. I don't understand how you could honestly think that protesting is going to change anything. California is talking about seceding from the United States. Hey, morons, you don't have any water. We're in a drought. Where are you going to get the water once you decide to secede from the United States? Because guess what? It comes from the Colorado River right now. So if they decide, well, you're not part of the United States anymore, get your own water, we're screwed, you morons. Who's going to defend us? The gun rights people that actually want guns and are pro-Second Amendment that would leave the second you decided to secede from the United States? Nope. And even if they decided to stay, they're not going to be able to defend you because you keep passing laws making it impossible to get ammunition and are only allowed to hold 10 rounds. Guess what? We would be invaded. We would fail as an economy. You guys are stupid. Use your brains. That's what God put him in between those two ears. Use your brain. It's there. I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted at the thought of everyone's racist because they voted for Trump. That's a ridiculous statement. And I actually was told today, trying to help out a friend, that I didn't understand how they felt because I was white and I was male. And I would never understand. Until I'm not white and I'm not a man anymore, I wouldn't understand. If that's not racist, I don't know what is. You're literally putting me into a category based on my race. That's what racism is, people. I mean, and again, I don't know how you feel. You're terrified. They're saying they're terrified to leave. They're terrified to leave their house because Trump got elected president. So now, in their twisted minds, it's you can do whatever you want to anybody that's a minority or anybody that is homosexual. Come on, people. Laws are still laws. You're not allowed to murder people. You're not allowed to assault people. You're not allowed to be... Come on. These are all laws that we all know about. Nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change like that. If you and here's the thing that blows my mind. If you're honestly 100% terrified for yours or your children's or your husband's or your family's, you're really terrified that something's going to happen and they're going to be harmed, and you're comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, then why are you on Facebook and Twitter complaining about it as opposed to packing your bags and getting out? Because basically you're comparing yourself to the Jews and Trump to Hitler. And if the Jews had 3-month warning before Hitler took power and knew what he was going to do, before he took power, you better believe they would have got out of Germany. So if you honestly believe that all of that is true, why are you on Facebook instead of packing your bags? I don't want people to leave America. I want people to embrace that you lost, and crying about it isn't going to change anything. We're all Americans. I have been upset the last 2 elections because I did not vote for Obama, and he won. And guess what? The people that didn't vote for Obama the last 2 elections thought the same thing you did. There goes my country. It's going to be destroyed. Everything's going to fall apart. It didn't happen. It's still here. It's been here for 260 years. America. And if you honestly believe that all of that is going to happen and that all of that is true, then you probably should get out because it will give you peace of mind. So either you believe it and you're sitting here, which makes you ignorant, or you don't believe it and you're just spreading stuff to make fear for everybody else. It's not going to change anything. Come January, we got a new president. It's going to be Donald Trump. There's really nothing you can do about that. Lighting flags on fire isn't going to change that. Making little cry circles is not going to change that. Pouting like a baby is not going to change that. You know what you can do to change it? You can go out in 4 years and get behind a candidate and vote them in. That's how you can change it. You can tell Trump, we don't want you, and get him out. Just like we told Hillary, we don't want you, and we got Trump in. That's the way America works. That's the way election works. That's the way democracy works, in case you didn't know. So all of you social justice warriors who feel like you're not racist and you're speaking the mind by lumping us into a category based on the color of our skin, that's called racism, in case you didn't know. It works both ways. So stop with that. Stop it. If you honestly think that Trump supporters are going to really hurt you and that somehow Trump is going to instill some kind of purge where we can just do whatever we want because we're white and we're male, and you really believe that, then get out before it happens. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. This is America. We have checks and balances. Even if he said that, if he took the presidency on the first day and went, this is what's going to happen, you better believe that Congress and everybody else would go, you're not going to do that, and they'd probably impeach him. That's the way that our government works. You can't just make ridiculously crazy laws. So calm down. It's going to be okay. If you need to go to your little cry circle, feel free to go to your little cry circle. Everything's going to be all right. I promise. Trump supporters, good job. We practiced our constitutional right. We voted. We got our guy in and we won. Liberal Hillary supporters, I'm sorry. This time you lost. It's going to be okay. If you need to cry for the next 4 years, go ahead and cry. But I can tell you right now, guess what? Reality is here. And at some point, you're going to have to face it again. It's not going to go away. You're going to have to go back to school. You're going to have to take your midterms. You're going to have to not get the hot cocoa and have the free counseling from college that you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to, and instead of going to class, you're crying in the courtyard or going to see the counselor because your mind is so blown that you didn't win. At some point, you're going to go and try and get a job, and guess what? You're not going to get that job. That's called life. You don't always win. You don't always get a trophy. You're upset now, and you have every right to be upset that you didn't win. But act like an adult. Stop crying. Stop rioting. Stop burning the American flag. Stop it. You're not doing anything for your cause except making people be more upset with you. And while I don't think every Hillary supporter is out there burning flags, you shouldn't think every Trump supporter is a racist. You're seeing the worst of the worst, and they are the minority of the group. And there were racists before when Obama was president, and there's going to be racists afterwards because people are evil. It's going to happen. There's always going to be evil people. And we can't judge every single person based on the actions of just the few. That's what you've been telling all of us about the jihadists for years. But yet when it turns around the opposite way, you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it with gun owners. Every gun owner is a murderer. No, we're not. I've never murdered anybody. I've owned guns my whole life. My father owned guns. My grandfather owned guns. None of us have murdered anybody. I've never even pointed a gun at a person. Not even in self-defense, not for no reason. So to say those kind of things is ridiculous. And since we're on the topic of guns, might as well go here. I mean, I'm on a roll now. All of you liberal supporters of, or anti-gun, supporters and, the Second Amendment, this and that, I'll bet you now you wish you had a gun. If you're literally in fear of your life, I bet you now you wish you had a gun, don't you? Now you probably wish, man, I wish we hadn't voted all those stupid laws in because I'd love to go out and get a gun, but now I got to go through all these background checks and it takes 10 days, and oh man, what's going to happen in 10 days? Now you know. Welcome to this part of it. You called us, paranoid, and you own guns because you're paranoid. It's called protection. It's called preparedness. And now you're trying to do it and you're realizing it ain't that easy. Bet you wish you had a gun. So think about those kind of laws when you pass them. It's good to have a gun. If you're really afraid, go out, get a gun. Carry it around. Get your concealed carry permit. Carry it. You'll feel safer. You're never going to use it. I guarantee that. And if you do have to use it, you're going to be happy you had it. But the small minority of things that are saying that are happening, which I haven't seen anything from Trump supporters that they're actually doing, you guys are freaking out about. And I don't believe that every Hillary supporter is out there burning flags. You shouldn't believe every Trump supporter is a racist. All right? Pull yourselves together. We're America. The rest of the world's watching right now. All right? Let's all get together. You can tell your party, hey, stop being morons and stopping traffic. And I guarantee you, if I am on the street and I see somebody that is doing something illegal against a minority or against a woman, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to go, hey, it doesn't matter, we got white privilege. I'm going to stop it because it's wrong. And 99.999% of Trump supporters would do the exact same thing. You're looking at the vast, small minority of people that were already ignorant racists that would have done the same thing whether Hillary is president or whether Trump's president, and they probably were doing the same thing when Obama was president. The world's going to go on. Trust me. For 8 years, I have been disappointed with the president. I was disappointed when he got elected the first time. I was disappointed when he got elected the second time. And all of you are probably going to say, because I'm racist, I didn't want him because he was black. That's not the case. I didn't agree with his policies. Just like I didn't agree with Hillary's policies. That's why I didn't vote for her. Had nothing to do with her having a vagina. So stop lumping us into a group. Stop looking at it's got to be this reason. I mean, you guys are literally fighting amongst yourselves because you're doing it in blue states and annoying your other liberal friends. You're doing it at Washington, D.C., which was also blue, in New York, which was also blue state. Come on. I mean, pull your act together, people. All of us, pull our act together. All right? We're going to be happy when we win. And in 4 years, if we lose and Trump tries to rerun and we vote for Trump and he doesn't win, we're going to be disappointed too, okay? But crying about it is not going to change it, all right? Let's all unite. We're America. United, we're strong. Divided, we will fall. Remember that, all right? It's going to be okay, I promise. I probably could go on a lot longer. I'll leave it short. Red, White, and Bill here. God bless America. Be safe out there, people. Don't freak out. It's going to be okay. America will survive. You will survive. You don't have to worry. I promise. All right? And I guarantee you, if something's going wrong, somebody will step in. God bless America. You guys have a good night.